If you're trading zero DTE options, there is a massive mindset shift that really separates the folks who make it from those who don't. And it has nothing to do with predicting the future. It's all about understanding the huge difference between direction and distribution. You know the drill. Every single morning, this is the first question that pops into almost every trader's head. You pull up the charts, you see what's happening in the pre-market, and you ask yourself, all right, which way are we going today? And it feels like the only question, right? It feels like your entire profit and loss for the day is riding on getting this one single coin flip correct. It's the foundation for so many strategies out there. But what if I told you that for a professional zero DTE trader, this is the absolute wrong question to be asking? That focusing on this simple up or down guess is actually a trap. The real edge, the real alpha, is found somewhere else entirely. And that brings us to the absolute heart of this whole explainer, making that critical shift from a direction mindset to a distribution mindset. This is about moving away from making a guess and toward building a real systematic business. Let's just break this down. The direction mindset, it's totally binary. It's just up or down. You're laser focused on one thing, where the price closes. And let's be honest, it's pretty much a guessing game. But the distribution mindset, oh, that's a different world. It's about the shape of the day, the risk of those crazy moves out in the tails, and when those moves might happen. It's about a whole range of possibilities. It's about running a business. So, what do we even mean by distribution? Well, think of it as the full spectrum of possibilities for the day. It's like a weather map that doesn't just say rain, it says there's a 70% chance of a light drizzle in the morning and a 10% chance of a huge thunderstorm in the afternoon. It's all the potential paths the market could take and how likely each one is. And this right here, this is the new mindset in a nutshell. Where the market finally lands at the end of the day is just one little data point. It's just a side effect of the entire day's distribution. The real story and the real risk is in everything that happens between the opening and closing bell.
Okay, so if we're not asking up or down anymore, what should we be asking? Well, we start thinking in shapes, in probabilities. We start asking questions that give us a much deeper feel for how the day might actually play out.
A pro asks way better questions. Things like, okay, what's a typical trading range in this kind of environment? How often do we get those wild outlier moves that blow up accounts? And when do they usually show up? In the morning or during the afternoon? And maybe the most important one, is the market's fear gauge, implied volatility, actually paying us enough for the real statistical risk?
You see, the whole point here is to shift your focus from the destination, that final closing price, to the journey. You want to understand the market's personality for the day. Is it going to be a calm, quiet day or a wild, unpredictable one? That's where the real information is.
And listen, this is not just some academic exercise. Ignoring the daily distribution is flat out dangerous. And it is exactly how most short-term options traders find themselves in a world of hurt.
Let me just paint a picture for you. Let's say you've got two different trades lined up. On the surface, on your trading platform, they look pretty much identical. They've got the same delta, they pay you the same credit, they look like the exact same bet. But then you look under the hood. Trade A is happening in a calm, low volatility market. The risk of a crazy intraday swing is pretty low. But trade B, it's in a jumpy, headline-driven market. So even though the delta and the credit are identical, the actual risk you're putting on is worlds apart. The distribution for trade B is way wider and way more dangerous.
And that's the whole ballgame right there. The numbers on your screen rarely tell the whole story. The game you are playing is defined by the underlying volatility and the shape of the day, not just by one little number like delta.
And this is literally the playbook for how traders blow up. They base their size on a simple probability of profit, completely ignoring that some days have fat tails, a much bigger chance of a crazy, unexpected move. They forget that big moves tend to happen together, and they only think about the final print, not the violent path it could take to get there, a path that could easily stop them out way before the closing bell. So enough with the doom and gloom. What's the payoff for making this mental switch? It changes everything about how you operate. It takes you out of the gambling seat and puts you into the risk manager's chair. When you think in distributions, you just stop taking bad trades. It's that simple. If the premium you're collecting doesn't pay you enough for the potential of a wild move, you just don't trade. You wait. You start demanding to be paid correctly for the actual risk. And on those days when the market is obviously dangerous, when the distribution is angry, you have the good sense to cut your size way down, or maybe just not trade at all. This quote just nails it perfectly. Every single time you place a trade, you are signing up for a whole range of possible outcomes. Your job isn't to guess the right one. Your job is to understand that entire range and make damn sure you're getting paid enough to accept it.
So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you're about to put on a 0 DTE trade, just stop for a second and ask yourself, am I placing a bet on up or down, or am I running a business based on the day's entire distribution of possibilities? The answer to that question will make all the difference in the world.